Well, well, look who we got here on a Wednesday. It's almost New Year's, the turn of the 2020. And look who we have with us, boys and girls. It's Sir Pop with Donkey Gang and my very special guest. I don't remember all of his monikers. I have to read them. I will just call him the Prince of Pubes, my man, the Dirtologist, Dirtbag Dan. What's up, baby?
Well, not too much, but since you don't remember the catchphrases, I will remind you and the dozen that'll watch this. I am the Godfather of Salt and Slime, Guru of Grime, Duke of Dust, Prince of Puke, Master of Mud, the Deacon of Dirt, the Punk of Pollution, the Crusader of COVID. I am Dirtbag Dan.
Okay, that's the third version since about an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago, that I've heard. I've seen what did you just say of COVID? The Crusader?
I think I said Crusader. I fucked up myself.
That's okay. I think there was the creation of COVID or something like that.
The creature of COVID.
The creature of COVID. But then you've kind of twisted it around and you said the crusty of COVID. Is that
the crust of COVID? That is
yes, the crust of COVID. Boys and girls, we are on a very odd start. So you know what? Hopefully, more than my dad and his dog Jake are watching this right now. Well, not right now, but later when I release it.
Oh, that's better. Yes.
But for those of us that watch Stir in the Pot, we all know and love us some Dirtbag Dan. If you don't know, and this is your first time, your boys and girls are in for a ride. But I want to start with all seriousness, all the kookiness and the shtick set aside. Right now, our beloved Dirtbag Dan is going through a COVID time right now. My man is tested positive. It's only been a couple days. Let's start right there. Please, you've taken the time to sit with us and talk to us.
I did say during discussing health and all that stuff. So last Wednesday, I woke up with a fever of 101. And I felt like shit. And as a precaution, especially with the newborn and with the lady, Christmas Eve, I found a place to get tested, got tested. And then Monday, the Department of Health called me and said, the Department of Health called Dirtbag Dan people saying that I tested positive for COVID, to quarantine, stay in your own realm, this and that, don't go out. Cool. But now I'm thinking, because they say, there's so many things that change. They say you can catch it within 2 days. You can catch it within a week. Mm-hmm. I don't know the full situation, but all this year with my job, I've worked at many different locations. And I wound up going to this one store by my house that is a high-risk area, I've heard. 3 days of working there, and I catch COVID. Mm. So within the process, if you think about it, I'm on like the 8th day right now of COVID. So I should be out of my system by Friday. I'm still taking precautions, not going back to work for another week. Got no bookings right now until about the 10th. So depending on, retesting and stuff, I should have my first show the second weekend of January, I guess. But I'm in good spirits. I've had no fever in the last week. I've had no signs of like shortness of breath or puking or diarrhea. The only actual effect that I've had is no smell and no taste.
Mm. Is that still going on right? Is that still going on right now?
Oh yeah, I have no sense of taste and I have no sense of smell, to the point where I changed my baby's diaper yesterday, and my girl was like, "Whew," and I'm like,
"What?"
Can't smell nothing. I had literally put my face into a jar of peanut butter like this, and couldn't smell anything.
Wow.
So there's a plus and a negative, because I could eat food right now that I hate and not be able to taste and smell it. I can suck a fart out of someone's ass and not smell or taste it. I gotta make a little light with a serious situation. It sucks, but what are you gonna do?
So how many days has Dirtbag been in quarantine as of tonight?
I want to say, I don't know. I don't really know per se, because
Losing track of time.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even. I forgot it was Wednesday. Like I no, I haven't really fully quarantined, like set into a room by myself because my girl got tested and her results came in today. She was negative. She was negative for it. We've been spending time, we sleep together, this. So if she would have had it, she would have had it by now. So we saw no sense of me, like her throwing me into the attic by myself.
Okay.
Which I wouldn't mind being in the attic. I think I've showed you guys like my man cave before. It just lasts.
Absolutely.
I've got plenty of VHSs and DVDs to keep me occupied, but we saw no sense of like locking me in a room. So when I hold my baby and stuff, what I've done is I've folded up my mask, a little doubler, where I can't even breathe out. Like I can't blow into my hand like that. So if I change her, I'm feeding her, I'm wearing this, dying myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't done that. Like I said, today I actually went out. I found one of those free vacuum places, vacuumed my car, and washed my hands and all that stuff. I had to do something I'm not one to stay still in a house.
You don't say.
Yeah. The plus is like the one bar by my house. They're only open Thursday through Sundays, and they close at 10 p.m. So it's not like I'm going out bar hopping. I can't do that either.
Your beautiful beard is being hidden by that mask. Yes. Whoa! Holy bejesus! Wow.
For those of you, I'm going to give people a little insight. As soon as we got on here, before we went live, John Cade goes, "You look like Burt Reynolds from Without a Paddle." It's just.
Hey, you're doing your thing. You're Dirtbag Dan. The hair did toss me a little bit, though. I will say that. The beard, not so much. The hair really threw me. I've never seen you with so much hair on your fucking head, bro. I gotta say.
I'm liking it, and I'm hating it because my hair's at that level of you can't really spike it up because it's too long to spike up, so it looks like this. It's too short to like slick back because it's not. So I'm in that middle stage of hairstyle right now where it's like the only thing I can do is either this or that. And like when I'm able to work, I got my mask on. I wear a hat too, so no one sees the Burt Reynolds. We're gonna call
Burt Reynolds. That's awesome. I think you know what. You know how I entitle each episode differently. I think we're gonna call this one "Without a Paddle." How about that?
No. Remember I said like the movie Let's Go to Prison with Dax? How about let's go to quarantine.
Let's go to quarantine. Okay, I'm down. I am down with that. Let's go to quarantine.
This is a quarantine edition. Yeah.
Well, in all honesty, I mean, because there was a lot of reaction on your face page when you did announce that you had the vid. So I'm glad to. Yeah. So seeing all of that love was very cool. But at this point, you sitting and talking to us, I am so glad that your symptoms are very minimal. And I know no taste or no smell has got to really suck. But without, the chest thing, being able to breathe, that's a plus, my man. You want that. So breathing is good. No fever, that's another plus.
I've had a fever for one day, literally 1 day, 24 hours. I had a fever. And
that's cool.
That's it. And like no diarrhea, no vomiting. I had the body aches for 1 day too. But it's been a week now, over a week, and I haven't had any symptoms. And there's 10,000 different. They keep changing a lot of COVID guidelines. Like you could get this. If you don't have show signs, it's out of your system. But I'm still playing it safe. Like I said, I'm out of work for another week and change. Not going anywhere, Christmas was nice. But we didn't get to go to her parents' house, see my dad and stuff. It sucks. We got to take naps, which was nice.
Could I ask you a question though? Because curiosity has got me. You get the test done. I haven't been in that situation where I felt where I had to. So I haven't been tested, and I know there's a process and all of that. We're not going to get into that. But do you think that this test could be a false positive? Because you're fucking dirtbag Dan. You could send that test like way off the charts just by the stink, the filth that you bring to the table, my friend. Do you think that it could really be a false positive?
I don't know if it's a false positive, but on some real, I don't think Dirtbag Dan caught COVID. I think COVID caught Dirtbag Dan.
That's you know what? I think I seen that on your face page as well. That's a very excellent tagline, if you will.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those Chuck Norris facts, like yes. Chuck Norris doesn't fear death. Death fears Chuck Norris.
Yes, like, you spin that bitch around. Yes. Well, enough about the vid. We're so glad that you're good.
Me too. And I want to thank people for reaching out to me. I'm sorry to cut you off. Thank everyone for reaching out to me, that text messages and messages, just in general, making sure I'm okay. Because some of my friends have had the COVID too, and their symptoms were, I guess, worse than mine. So they wanted to check in, make sure I'm like, everything's good. They're worried about the baby and stuff. So I'm like, the baby's good. She's 3 months old. She eats, sleeps, and shits. It's a life. So, but yeah, thank you as well, Don. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. So fatherhood. Last time we spoke, you made 2 major announcements. You were getting in the cage against one Shane Douglas. We tried to connect that evening. I thought it'd be something cool if we could really connect that night. But, Dirtbag Dan all fired up out of the cage. I didn't really expect us to connect, but I figured I'd see if we could make that magic happen. But that's okay. But also,
it's hard after a main event, promos getting done, running around.
Absolutely. I get it.
Trying to do after party. Hold on, Don. The baby's here. What's up?
Ooh, the baby.
What happened? She exploded? I don't know. No, I'm not doing that right now. You changed her? Oh, man, I could have got that on video. Like bad. Roxanne. Come on, guys.
Yes, we get to meet the baby. Fatherhood, where I was going with that is your second announcement was you were having a baby. Father, look at the beautiful family. Oh, my goodness.
It's the princess of puke and the... you exploded? The vomitron. The vomit. Say hi, Roxy. Say hi, Roxy.
Hi, Roxanne. How are you? Oh, my goodness.
Be nice to mommy. Bad.
Oh.
Bad. I'll be down for a while, okay? All right.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, go ahead.
She's just like the second time in a week she's exploded. Oh, like you did tell people this was going to be entertaining, so
I'm getting into fatherhood. It seems to you seem to be fitting in it very well. Nobody knew what to expect when Dirtbag Dan said he was going to be a dad, and here we are. You seem to be doing a fantastic job. You're sharing a lot of stuff on your social media. The video of you with the poopy diaper, that was absolutely sorry. That was absolutely
flashback from that day.
That was absolutely money. That was fantastic media, social media entertainment for us. I tell you that. Fatherhood is doing good for Dirtbag Dan, yes?
Lady Dirt actually is the one that came up with the name Vomitron. It kind of sounds like an Autobot. There's Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Vomitron.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. You bring us boys and girls, we get to, I think I might have mentioned this before, we get the pleasure and the honor of going into the talents' homes and such. They bring us into their real lives. Some really don't dig it, but Dirtbag Dan's very open. He's candor. He's transparent. And I thank you for sharing. we just met your family, the newest addition, and I thank you so much for allowing us to be part of that. That was very cool.
It could only happen on Kincaid Files if you think about it.
Yeah. Yes, baby. Yes.
Better place because you've done a lot of serious interviews with a lot of serious wrestlers, and I've watched a lot of these where it's you do the interviews, you have a little chuckle, but they talk about their careers and what they've done, and then you have like me, like that just goes off the wall. Like if there was a script, I threw it out, kind of deal. Like we just gotta shoot shit because
yes,
you've been following me now almost 3 years, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen. I think we met at what, PAPW?
We sure did. Yeah.
Then there was TOS and Battlefront, and we've seen each other other places too. And you saw this dude crazy and funny. You got that. He's sadistic, but he's funny. And then we've talked, and it's like he's real. And it's like that's how I present myself to the public, because it's like you see me at a show, and it's like, who's this guy with a fucking pizza cutter? Looking like your regular Joe Schmo. And then I get really intense in the ring. You meet me at my merch table, and you're like, wow, this is a real dude. And that's what I want. I like to build my connection with fans and become friends. Like, good example, my first time in Indiana this year, I debuted in the main event. So intermission, nobody really knew much of me. They saw my picture on the posters. They saw my promos. So a lot of interest was, who is this guy who's selling merch? And I played a little. I'm Dirtbag. I'm Jersey. I'm the hardcore crazy. After my match was over, I was a fan favorite. And I'm like, holy shit. And months later, to wrestle Shane Douglas in a steel cage match main event. And I'm like, the promoter out there for a Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling has told me some guys take months and months and shows to connect with fans. It took you one match. And I was like, I don't know what I did different. Maybe it's because I used a 10-year-old as a weapon in my match. I don't know. But I made a connection where now, the last time I was out there, fans wanted to meet up and hang out. I was like, I'm driving 11 hours, and they want to hang out and drink and get to know me. And I'm like, I love that, where I can go halfway across the country and people want to chill. That's a real, man. That is some real shit.
That brings me back to our first meeting, my friend. Seeing you in the ring, you hit it on the head on the nail on the head, because you were like, you've got this crazy bastard now. And that specific evening, you weren't doing, the pizza cutter and the little more intense stuff. You came out in a traditional match. You had your gear on and stuff. You looked a little bit different a couple years back there. But you intrigued me because you were like a real guy in the ring. You were filthy, you were dirty, but you didn't swear at people. You didn't use vulgar language. You didn't flip people off. The stick that went on for quite some time, might I add, between the multiple promotions you mentioned earlier. You would say,
Kincaid.
Now that's always amazing. That took on a life of its own. But what I'm speaking of is you were calling yourself East Brantford's favorite son, and I would always correct you and say we are in East Haven or we are in East Hartford, and it was this thing that kind of latched on between us right off the ripper, and I thought it was very cool.
I'll give you some insight on that one. I think my first match with PAPW, I think I worked Nathaniel Carr. The nerd.
Okay, yeah.
That was my first match. And for those people that don't know PAPW, it's run by Paul Roma and Mario Mancini. Paul Roma, WAF, Mario Mancini, WAF. And very traditional. Fun fact, I used to work for Paul Roma and Mr. Fuji back in the day when they ran Power and Glory. Another part of Connecticut, when Tookie Tucker, the wrestling trucker. So I come in, I debut, and what Kincaid said is, I didn't curse, I didn't swear, I didn't give the finger, because you don't have to. I literally got to there early. I'm in Brantford, Connecticut. And Brantford. And I asked some people, I go, what's the rival town for East Haven? Like, what's football, rivals, whatever. someone goes Brantford. I was like, that's where I'm from. I'm from Brantford. And just by being announced from a rival town, people hated me. They instantly hated me. Now, to give a little more insight and some secrets away, after the match was over and I lost on my debut, Mario Mancini came running to the back. And I'm thinking I'm in trouble. I'm like, what did I do wrong? He's looking for me. I'm like, did I curse? Did I call someone fat? And he goes, you were amazing, kid. You should have won. Oh, my God. And then he bought 2 of my shirts.
Wow.
The promoter bought 2 of my shirts for him and his wife. I was like, this goes back to making an impression for a first time where it was like, hi, I'm thinking one and done. It was an alley fight, like a student event. So I already knew I wasn't being paid. It was one of those where I want to come out, have some fun. And that's where I think I had a car too. And then me and him hit it off until he asked me for rides all the time. Fucking never has cigarettes, never has funny, never has a ride. But I made an impression on 2 former WWF wrestlers. I was like, And that's what also at PPW. I met the Gores, and they brought me in. From there, I went on going to TOS, made an impression. And my first show with Slick Wagner Brown was, man, how long you been working, this and that? And I was like, Slick, man, I remember me and you were on shows back in the day when you were with April Hunter. He goes, oh, you've been around. He's like, yeah. So I popped him. He was trying to ask me how long I've been around, and I mentioned his former, and they would say, oh, okay. So, I mean, it's really cool. I like to give that different side and different feel of just doing, suit and tie. Hey, Kincaid, how are you? Let me show you my portrait, my belts.
Now, you spoke of the first couple times that I've seen you. I know you were a recurring character at PAPW once you got into TOS. Again, a recurring character at TOS. Fantastic that both companies that I've frequented, I never missed an alley fight or a training day. So seeing them bringing in new talent like that. And not only that, though, Mr. Dirtbag, because from the first time, and my dad as well, we really grasped onto your character in ring. But then, like I said, hey, man, do you mind if we do a promo? That first time, like we really connected after the show. Me and my dad, we just fucking loved you. I mean, even more than we already did as a character, what we seen in the ring. I already, just by the way I take footage and stuff and share it, there was already like really fun stuff, really cool stuff. There was wrestling. There was like, and it's boys and girls. He's not, and we talk shtick a lot. He's not shtick. Believe me, he is not fucking shtick. He is wrestling because my man can do it all. I mean, for real. So seeing the package that you brought the first time in a very quick match, because again, you're talking, it's in a student setting for the most part, you know what I'm saying, in that tight knit setting. And you don't get a lot of time in front of the crowd. And
I made an impression in under 10 minutes in a way for a crowd that wasn't too familiar with me. And just being announced from a rival town, I made a connection with the fans, and I don't want to call you a fan anymore. I consider you a friend, that like I made that impression and that like stuck. I stuck like an STD to you.
You did.
Where it's like, no, he's not a shtick. He's not. And one thing I always put you over saying to the other boys that if Kincaid asked to do an interview or stirring the pot or take him up on the offer, dude, like you're a fool not to take a few minutes out of your day to go, fuck, COVID is really sucking. I'm not getting any content out there. Kincaid wants to put content out. It's a no-brainer. People are foolish not to jump on this bandwagon, if you will.
Well, I appreciate that, and that brings me back to a show. I've had the absolute honor, again, the lines that I've been able to cross from a fan to some of the things I've been able to do. Being able to be at a pre-meeting before an event starts is something that a fan, and again, at one point, there was a lot of things going on. I was an element here and there of the company and whatnot. But I'm telling you, man, right at this, as the meeting is going on, Dirtbag, it's coming at the tail end. Dirtbag just stops everything. And I swear to God, I almost fucking cried, dude. I shit you not. I really legit almost cried. He stops the meeting and says those exact words to every single worker. And I want to say, we were talking names like Alec Price, your cousin, Big Cow. We had the local talent. I mean, there was, but you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of people within the, yeah, a lot of the familiar faces that I've seen over time, and newer faces that we're meeting. And you took the time to just stop everything and announce that thing right there. Do a stir in the pot with Donkey Kate or something. Hang out, because you'd be a jerky not to. It's cool shit, and you just should do it. And I was just like, I can't believe this just happened, man. Like, I don't ask anybody to let me in free. I don't ask for anybody to pay me to do a damn thing. I never wanted that out of any of this. This right here, my friend, is what anything at all is one friendship made out of any promotion is worth everything that I've ever done. And you, my friend, have always put me over. Like, I can't believe, like, for fucking real. And I know I'm going on and on, but boys and girls,
it's the truth.
That's the way Dirtbag Dan is, though. That's the way he is.
Like, you're a fan and a friend of the boys and stuff. But there's New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts. You're traveling to 3 different states to support independent wrestling, independent wrestlers, guys that consider you a friend. You don't ask for a handout. You pay for every ticket. You buy merch off the boys. All you ask for in return is, hey, would you like to do an interview? And for a guy to say no is foolish when you have a guy like yourself traveling to different promotions, trying to get other people's names out there. If a wrestler doesn't want to get his name out there with you, for all he knows, you have 20 followers or 1 million. He don't know sometimes that local guy. Why not take, hey, look, I can't do an hour interview. Maybe can we do like 5 minutes? You're gonna be like, yeah, let's 5 minutes, let's go.
Calm down.
Yeah, like, who wouldn't want the opportunity for exposure? We've been doing this now almost 25 minutes. Maybe people's attention spans are going to be like, well, Dan fucking bores me. Or they're going to watch because, like, what's Kincaid going to do next? But that's the point. Like, you don't know unless you do it.
And that's why I've always jumped in, because, again, you don't know. And I always ask, because it's either going to be a yes or it's going to be a no. You're not going to get anything in between, really, except for maybe no-sell. I've been no-sold plenty of times on that. I will tell you that. But yeah, I'm serious. But anywho.
Video was brought to you by Fireball.
Cheers, my friend. I want to get into something that's a recurring theme with Dirtbag Dan in my memories. And every time I share these, I get a tickle out of them. I think they're amazing. And I wore this shirt of 1L Ref for a very specific reason for this topic we're going to speak of right now. Chemical warfare. We have talked about what I call chemical warfare. Dirtbag Dan likes to do a little armpit action. We're gonna meld into this. What I want to speak about is how did this really come about, and part of what you do in your gimmick, if you will, and part of the what you present to the fans, because I've never not heard anybody not pop for this thing in one way or another. Either they're going to puke or we just get a tickle out of it. I get a tickle out of it and get sick at the same time. But you do it to the referees. You've done it to your opponents and such.
Well,
I call it the chemical warfare. Do you have a name for this, and how did it become?
It's the referee's job to pat me down. He doesn't know if I have something in my armpit, so I'm doing him a service by giving him an up-close, personal look to make sure there is nothing hiding in there. Sure, it might be chemical warfare. I just think it's doing a good job. Ref Bill has felt it. Gina almost got it. El Ref not only got it, but he also got drop kicked one time.
He did. Missile drop kick.
Sorry, not sorry. You shouldn't have been in the way.
Woo! Good times. Good times, my friend. Now, did this just pop into you like during a match one time? You're like, you know what? When I come out, I'm gonna try this little thing. Was it something that was part of the, where does it originate from? Because it's got to come from somewhere.
I honestly don't remember where it came from. I used to lick my armpit as a joke, not even in wrestling. Not even in wrestling. Like, I can lick my armpit. And then I started doing it in the ring. And next thing you know, my armpit's in a referee's face or an opponent's face. And I don't remember. I don't know exactly. I can't pinpoint where it started, but it's not stopping. I can tell you that.
I have seen
my matches. You will get my armpit. Can't disqualify me either if the bell didn't ring.
That's true. You can't disqualify because again, the bell didn't ring yet. It is a foreign weapon though, a foreign object. I will say that. So there's never been a name for it. So for me, labeling it chemical welfare, chemical welfare, chemical warfare.
Like chemical welfare.
We're gonna change.
John, it is. I'm going to hit you with the chemical welfare. Section 8.
Oh my god, I can't stop. You're gonna make me fucking cry. Oh my god. Oh, chemical welfare. What the fuck's the matter with me? One quick second, sir. I'll be back in a lickety split.
Take 2 or 3.
Oh man, I am so glad I asked about that. That was some good times right there, boy. Oh god. Oh man.
So I did make a joke. If I were to do cocaine, I wouldn't be able to smell it because I got no smell, but I'd feel it. But kids, don't do drugs. Drugs are bad.
No. Yeah. That's a no-no.
Unless you're sharing.
No, I kind of like to transition it to Dirtbag Dad real quick. Grand Dirt, if you will. Now, you have seemingly, just out of nowhere, at some point since I've known you, seemingly out of nowhere, Dirtbag Dad has kind of just been thrown into your social media, and we've had some fun as fans to view it. Your friends, I'm sure, get a bigger kick out of it. Why would you infiltrate your father's space and get him involved in this wacky world of Dirtbag Dan's wrestling?
Because why the fuck not? If I'm not tormenting my father, who is? Who better to torture? And if you want to call him and tell him how you feel, his phone number is 7-341-3071. Blur that out. Blur some of those numbers out if you can. Can you blur it out or no?
I could do something. I could do something. This fucking guy.
And he lives at Clinton, New Jersey, 08865. His address, once again, is Clinton, New Jersey.
Oh shit! Whew. I'm so glad this ain't live. I'm glad this ain't live. Dirtbag Dad would be getting calls right now.
I put his phone number on Facebook before. I've tagged him. But what's funny is one of my boys, Vinny Senzo, the odd soul wrestler out of Jersey here, he has been feuding with my dad for months, maybe years now. They've talked shit back and forth so many times, I can't even count. But it's fun and games, and until someone goes, this all goes back to the time my dad almost got knocked out for cock blocking me. Okay? This is like 2007, maybe 2008. Doing a show. We're at the bar afterwards. This woman's looking to do shots with people. And I was like, oh, man, I'll do shots with you since none of the boys wanted to. Fine. I'm doing shots with this woman whose daughter liked me. And her daughter was like 14 or whatever. So my dad rolls up because he was at the show, the human tripod. And he starts talking to her. And I'm like, oh, man, isn't it time for you to go? And he said something. And this wrestler, Ace Darling comes up to me and goes, you want me to take this guy outside? I was like, no, that's my dad. That's my dad. Like, out of nowhere, Ace Darling was at the bar, and heard me tell this old man to back up, like back off, old man. I'm talking to this woman, and he goes, so my dad almost got beat up at a show. This was, like I said, 2007 or 8, National Wrestling Superstars, which was the definition of carny wrestling. Literally the definition of carny wrestling. And they had characters like Golda, the world famous clown, Big Slam Vader, like all knockoff names. And if you went to their show on Friday in North Jersey and went to the show on Saturday in South Jersey, you saw the exact same matches. Nothing like the circus. You saw the exact same thing. It was calm, but it was fun. It was fun. And I was their first ever cruiserweight champion.
Oh, wow. Wow.
That Joey Janela almost ruined for me because the day of the show, he found out he wasn't winning, and he was selling tickets at the time. Joey Janela called all his friends and goes, "Dirtbag." Well, I was Dan Rages at the time. Dan Rages is winning the cruiserweight tournament tonight. Blah blah blah. The promoter heard it, chewed me out because he was my student or whatever. And I'm like, "You motherfucker!" I think I have the belt still. I think I have it.
Oh,
it was. Don't say, "Ooh yeah." Let's see. Hold on one second. Let's see.
Yeah. Go ahead, man.
All right, so this belt has changed like 3 times. It was an old ECW. How do I flip the camera here? How do I do this? I have no idea how to flip the camera. Can I flip it?
Yeah, you can't just turn your...
Okay. Oh, there we go. So this was it. An ECW Child's Tag Belt that wound up becoming the Garden State Pro Wrestling Cruiser Core Championship.
Is that done with like a gold Sharpie?
Yes, it was.
Shut the fuck up.
Yes, it was. That's how bad. But then you have this collection right here of my tag team championships. The Hardcore Championship. And the ECPW Light Heavyweight Championship.
Nice.
Which I'll be defending shortly.
Now, you defended it not too long ago, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes, about 3 weeks ago, I defended it against a shining star, Ray Calitri, who just happened to fall short of a victory because I smacked him with the belt. So obviously he didn't win it because I hit him with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talked some shit to his daughter, and things got heated real quick.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Unlike him, I can promise my daughter a victory.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a hootenanny. Sounds like a hootenanny was a hat over at that. Now, was that a studio taping?
No, that was a live crowd, in Jersey.
Is there any way we could see said footage of this, or?
I do have it, and I will send it to you.
Oh.
I have the finish of that match.
Oh, okay. All right. That would be amazing. Yes. How long have you been? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, how long have I been light heavyweight champion in ECPW? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
A year and a half.
Oh.
After Sonny Kiss, AEW superstar, had to relinquish the belt. A tournament, and I won.
Now you've gone against another part of what used to be the Filthy Family. Johnny Chill. Now probably once, twice, maybe like thrice. Haven't you and Johnny had this thing going on?
We have, and he's in the past now. Now he is the ECPW social media champion, I believe it is, but I don't think that belt's gonna last long on the kid. He doesn't do social media too well.
I can't say that I've seen him visible on the old media.
Talk about Big Stupid. Well, that's all we can say about Big Stupid. He's not doing nothing. Nothing.
Well, I don't mean to talk ill will about one Johnny Chill, but I haven't seen no presence. So if you're a social media champ, We really should see some presents. That'd be cool.
Might have some
You've also
around my little
have
cousin.
you've also have that Battlefront Hardcore Championship. Now
But
that
Battlefront has been MIA for how long now?
well, they've been we're gonna do it this month, this month, this month. There's actually January is supposedly coming. They've changed it again. The last thing I knew, there was a January something, but I don't know because they keep changing the stuff. So I don't know.
The actual last show that they ran was right there.
Yes. Oh
I
wow,
saw my
wasn't that the hardcore fight that you had with one
Yeah.
Rebecca Payne?
But still, they have done nothing. Well, we did a small pop-up show where I regained my
Regained.
belt, regained,
Mhm.
and since then, like I love Dan, but I'm not hearing anything. He doesn't want to do a taping. He doesn't want to do. So I'm not sure if I should rename the belt. Maybe the Dan Hardcore Championship or
Oh wow.
or something.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be interesting. Dirtbag Dan Hardcore Championship.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I got plenty of dates for 2021 to defend it.
Now, we are turning the table from what everybody is saying, probably the worst year on record in quite some time, if not in everybody's existence in our generations here.
Oh God.
2021's coming. You've mentioned it more than once here. Do you already have something that you can look forward to? You did say maybe January 10th or something, but is there anything else that you have in the future that is booked or looking ahead, or what's going on there?
Right now, I have confirmed dates till May with multiple places. I don't want to give away too much just because the whole COVID thing and everything, but there are some live shows, there are some tapings. There are things from New Jersey to Ohio to Indiana to Pennsylvania, possibly Florida. Don't want to give too much away. Even I even talked to Showcase Pro Wrestling, and they might do some tapings, so Rhode Island might happen again.
Mhm.
But with the whole COVID thing, and I don't want to jinx, I don't want to say too much. But if everything's good, I've got things lined up until May.
Oh,
How you doing?
oh.
We got a couple of haters,
Now, my earpiece went spooky for a second. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my speaker thingy took a digger. I think I hit the button by accident, so we'll just continue the way it is.
You son of a bitch.
So you did mention Showcase. I have seen them do tapings within their facility. They've released some stuff on their YouTube.
Yes.
So I could see Dirtbag Dan up there. But
I worked for Showcase before in the past many times.
Oh,
I've been to Woonsocket and I've been to Showcase for a while.
Okay. Now I wanted to speak upon, you are not afraid, obviously, to travel. You're one of those guys that will travel. Hey, we're not going that deep. You're one of those guys that are willing to just pick up and head out and do your thing. I've always appreciated that about you as a wrestler, because you've been in the game for, we're talking like nearly 20 years, if not 20 years yet, and you're still doing that. Still doing that.
19 years exactly in March.
Wrestler.
Sorry.
I said I just appreciate that, seeing that you're still doing that. You know, that work ethic, if you will.
Yeah, man. You gotta like keep grinding and stuff, man. Making the miles and what was it? Making the rounds, taking the towns. I'm 35 years old, going on 19 years in this game, and it was funny. Recently, I was at a Christmas party for a company, and I actually sold a shirt at this Christmas party. one of the students' girlfriends whose grandmother liked me. I was like, okay. But I'm talking to these young kids, and I'm trying to give them advice. I might not have the best advice, but I have experience of crazy that I've done, burning the bridges, getting wild at shows, trying to pass on a little knowledge of what not to do and what to do. And also at the same time, offering up opportunities that if I'm on the road and you want to go, get in the car. You're more than welcome. There's no spots guaranteed, but you get to get on the road. You get to experience someplace new. You help out where needed, whether it's set up chairs, build a ring, or just stand in silence. You know, I've done a lot of bad things. I've done a lot of good things. And I tell these young kids that it's if you want something, you got to go for it. Unfortunately, when I started in '02, there wasn't these opportunities like today. There wasn't YouTube wasn't around. Facebook, MySpace wasn't around. I legit had to send out tapes and mail things out and make phone calls. Now you send a YouTube link and it's like, maybe I'll look at it, kid. Maybe you're booked. You know, these kids have a lot more opportunities where I can say, hey, I'm bringing this student I know, Don Kincaid, to a show with me. Is that okay? Promoter goes, yeah, send me some of his stuff, maybe. Maybe we could use them. Hey, Don, you driving with me? Send the guy some stuff he wants to see. Maybe he has a spot. Yeah. As opposed to, hey, bring a DVD with you, and when I have time, I'll watch it, kid.
Yeah.
I want to give some kids opportunities. It's just like, maybe it's because I didn't have the opportunities they did, so I want to give back.
I'm assuming, because I've said that I've said the same topic with my dad about yourself and passing on some of the knowledge, the do's and don'ts, because not everything that you've done in your career has always been, the A game, if you will. So yeah, my dad and myself, we've always spoken about Dirtbag Dan in that fashion. That we see it as fans, and it doesn't even have to be past that guardrail. We just see it as fans. You can just tell. But I want to kind of stay on that topic and use that undisclosed area show that Battlefront did, where you did regain from Ryan Frost that championship. But at the same token, out of the vehicle, I see one Big Cal, and I also see one Ray Pittman. Now, I've met Mr. Pittman. I never even met him. I'm sorry. I've seen him work one time at ACW, American Coliseum Wrestling. Grand time it was. So I've only seen him work one time. So when I seen him with you guys, I knew exactly what was going on. You brought him to see what was good. And I knew that was what was going on. And there ended up not only being one match, but we got 2 matches out of it. And that was pretty cool.
Well, the whole get-go was actually Ray Pittman was a backup. Originally, I was supposed to bring this kid named Love Jones, who has burnt me 3 times. And when I say burnt, I mean like, yeah, I'm there. And then, no. Okay, I'll give you a second chance. No. Third chance. You're done, kid. No more. And I had been working out with Ray a lot more. And I think I told Ray it was 24 hours notice. And he goes, I'm there. And I was like, it's not paid. You're going to get an opportunity, maybe some footage out there, this and that. He goes, I'm in. Boom. And then he dresses the best because he knows when you make a first impression, you gotta look the part. And I told, like, I should have had a pair of shorts on, a fucking no-sleeve T-shirt. It's just, I already worked there too. And he goes, first impressions last. And I'm like, this is why I love him. His attitude for a young kid is perfect. Sorry. And, I wish things would have worked more out for the Massachusetts events, and I could have gotten more opportunities out there. And then, COVID got a little worse, and it's just the damn shame. But he's a good kid. I mean, this kid's got a great head on his shoulder. He's got a great look, phenomenal attitude, and it's like, I hope things clear up where he has more opportunities, Ray Pittman, because he's good. This kid is good and could be great.
I've seen him on the ECPW Flyers as well. He's part of that roster?
Yes, sir. That's where he started.
Okay.
And I love watching him work. Like, he is like the last match he had with ECPW I was on. His opponent wasn't the best. His opponent originally was supposed to be Big Cal. Big Cal had an ankle injury, which he was sore, so Cal couldn't make it. And they gave him a replacement, the other kid that was working, a student. And Ray looked great. Ray was on point. The only criticism I had from him was his opponent. And it's like, hey, I know you're still training to Ray's opponent. I was like, I know you're training, you're learning. I gave him my advice. I critiqued him and stuff. And he said, thank you. And I was like, Ray, you look great. Ray, you were fine. Everything you did, crisp, perfect. You did your job. And, Big Cow getting on that fucking big stupid. Said he couldn't make it. He had hurt his ankle. And then he goes, hey, Dan, when you were out last year with the hand injury, what'd you do? I was like, wait, you mean when I broke my hand and had surgery and couldn't make shows? I think that's a big difference from my ankle is swollen till I just had surgery. He goes, oh, yeah. I was like, all right. I was like, dude, I even worked a match in Connecticut with a broken hand.
I was there and I even yelled at you. Not that it was going to do anything, but I still yelled at you.
And I only went to hang out. But he tried to compare a swollen ankle to surgery on a hand. I'm like, they don't compare, bro. I had major surgery, and I also you kept your bookings, and I got Johnny my bookings. Your ankle hurts.
Now, before I let you go here, because I want to swing back to that main event cage match with one Shane Douglas, because it was a franchise against the Dirtologist, and who the hell ever would have fucking thought in our area that know you, I would have never seen that coming from a fucking 1,000 miles out. But some circumstances happened to where you ended up being part of the main event. Could you please talk to us, the fans, because there was some kind of scheduling issues. One guy couldn't make it and such, and things happen. And there's Dirtbag going against the franchise. Could you talk to us about that match and how you felt at the tail end coming out of that?
So Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling has had these hardcore tournament going on to crown their first ever hardcore champion. Back in January or February, I debuted main event qualifying for this match, and I lost. Now, Shane Douglas was scheduled to fight someone. They couldn't make it, so they believe in second chances, and they contacted me. Dirtbag Dan. Great. I could put an old dog to sleep. I don't mind. I get out there. I get in this cage with Shane. I guess I got the best of myself because I had him down and out. I was walking out that cage. And I turned around to take the old guy out. Mm-hmm. But I guess that dog had one more bark in him, and I got franchised.
You did, yes.
Now they're finishing up their tournament in February in Ohio, February 5th and February 6th. Will third time be a charm? Will somebody be injured and Dirtbag Dan step up? I don't know. Time can only tell. But Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling has been warned, and my video will be coming out shortly of my intentions.
Wow.
That was my promo. That was yeah.
I look forward to the footage. That's one thing about Dirtbag Dan, boys and girls. Not afraid to cut a promo anytime for any company and make sure he makes sure that he does cut a promo. Not only one, sometimes there's multiple layers getting to said match, which is something that I appreciate.
So for that Shane Douglas match, I did 3 promos, a total of maybe 4 minutes long, all 3. Mm-hmm. About 8,000 views on them.
Yeah.
And if you remember one, I was in front of the ECW arena, mm-hmm. and I spit on the building.
Did see that. Uh-huh.
Got a lot of hate for that one. Not gonna lie. It hurt to do.
Now, I've always been told when I started doing this thing with my phone, doing the clips and such, and it's kind of led me to where it is now. You never know who's watching, and even though that there is no sad face, no mad face, no like on the YouTube video, even though there's no reactions, that doesn't mean that X amount of people have not viewed your product, because obviously reactions don't tell the story.
No.
So it's kind of weird in my eyes, because I've always said I'm a dude with a phone. But my friend, Christmas Eve, I woke up to a message, an email, and it said that I passed 1,000 subscribers. My fucking channel passed 1,000 subscribers. Are you shitting me? So
Congratulations.
thank you. I thought that was so very cool, because again, I'm a dude with a phone that's having fun at wrestling, and I kind of picked up these interviews on kind of like a side project, and it's turned into a ton of friendships and a ton of relationships, and it's been just effing amazing. I would never change any of it. But
Please don't.
no, I would never. But we're talking from Christmas Eve till now, I've gained I've gained another 200 plus subscribers on my fucking channel, bro. Like, what is going on out there?
You're doing something right, Kincaid. You're doing it right. You're sharing it. The boys are sharing it, and people are getting a kick out of this, because what's not to like? What's not to like about this?
So that brings me back to your promos of the views and such. You never ever know who's watching. Promoter, a wrestler, not even in the United States, that could catch eyes on that, and such. You know, so I mean, the reach is pretty endless. So I just think it's really cool seeing Dirtbag Dan getting a lot of response and a lot of reaction and a lot of just people digging what you're doing, because I've latched on to that character and yourself as a person, speaking to you out of the shows.
Oh yeah.
But man, for me personally, because of the ties we have, I absolutely love seeing the love that you get and all of the views and such on your media. I think it's really cool.
I appreciate that, man. It's like I post things, and whether it's wrestling related or funny, and when I get reactions and stuff, I'm like, really? Like, you people follow me? It shocks me. Like, I posted a picture of a busted up Twisted Tea can. And Twisted Tea is popular right now, but I'm like,
Oh
I
my
literally
God.
was going.
How about the fucking meme I made with Dirtbag Dan standing by? Oh God, I was cracking up. Maybe
Never failed to amaze me, Don. That's why I love you.
Oh God, I know on my face page I did say I don't make resolutions, but my New Year's resolution is I'm not only gonna double but maybe triple my reface outtake. I don't know if I should do that. I think I'll legit lose a lot of people on my Facebook.
Well, you might gain them. Might gain. Oh, by the way, speaking of reface, cut the shit with the face swap, Kincaid. You pushed it far enough. You've gone too far. Don Diesel, this is not funny anymore. Stop what you're doing. Stop it. Stop it, Kincaid. The people have spoken. Stop it.
Oh my fucking word. We started off with tons of laughs. We ended with tons of laughs. I did not expect anything different, because look who we had to spend a fine hour with. We could keep talking and talking and talking, but we like to. Yeah, yes, we have. Yeah, we've got to. Yes, we have to watch the tribute. Dirtbag Dan, it's been amazing. Everything, the stories, and everything you've talked to us about. I cannot thank you. Is there a name for such dummy right there? Who is that?
Don.
Hey, oh my God! Ow, that hurt a little bit.
Right.
Dirtbag, thank you so much for spending the time with us, especially having the King COVID. We're sorry that you have it, but thank you for spending the time with us. We really appreciate it. Look at you.
King COVID, really?
Hey Don, nice chatting with you. This It's Stir in the Pot with Donkey King, with my very special guests. We have one Don. He's got pasties on his boobies. It's kind of weird. And one Dirtbag Dan. What the hell's going on with that poor moist? Look at this. And one Dirtbag Dan, the Dirtologist. Dirtbag Dan. Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome, Don. You're welcome.